Thank you. That sounds like 100 people. We're just warming you guys up. This is so much fun. Thanks to Music Niagara. Thanks to Club Roma for giving us this incredible space and being so hospitable. Those couches are from them. I wish I could have brought them from my house, but they're so beautiful. We're going to play a couple more songs here. This is Tango del Mare. 1, 2, 3. Live from Club Roma in St. Catharines, the Not So Late Show, featuring the house band Quartetto Gelato, special musical guests LCM, Mark and Louise Camilleri, and your host, Joe Pillitteri.
good, our Quartetto Gelato. Wouldn't it be nice to have them just around as you're showering? Like, how great are these guys? So well dressed, so talented, and thank you very much. Thank you for setting up a microphone that was equipped for someone who's half Italian and half Scottish. I appreciate that, Club Roma. Music Niagara, next year it's their 25th anniversary. It's their 25th anniversary. Yeah. We're here tonight at Club Roma. 60 years in town. Club Roma, a staple of Italian weddings for the past 60 years. Get this. Guess who else is celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary next year? I am. You're right. Guess where our wedding reception was? Guess where our wedding? Right here. Right here. And it's great because I remember the stress of deciding who sits where. Like the people that offended the family 30 years ago were behind the posts in the corner, and you people were all obviously good friends of the family, left a lot of money in the envelope, right? That's you. This is good. And now here we are, 25 years later, 4 kids. Yeah, 4 kids. It's so great. Kids are so encouraging. I have 4 children, aged 16 to 22. I have a little workout board at home that I try to stay motivated with. I have little messages for myself, things like stretch, meditate, be alcohol-free, exercise every day. And I didn't realize that one of my kids, my 19-year-old daughter, had posted a little message for me in the corner. I'm reading all these things, and I'm like, who wrote this little message on the corner? The bottom right corner, it said, "You are a loser. Never forget that. Never forget that." But it's good. We take them on nice vacations. We bought an RV because we had $21,000 burning a hole in our pocket. So we bought an RV. We said, what's a crappier version of our house? Smaller, tighter, with less comforts. Let's get that, and let's bring the family with us in that. So we did that. And here's the thing that schooling in whether it's Ontario or whether it's a Canadian thing, when they teach you geography, you look at the Great Lakes. And on a map, the Great Lakes looks like this, right? It looks like just a tight grouping of lakes. And we got a campsite at a place called Lake Superior Provincial Park. And I thought, how far is Lake Superior Provincial Park? Because on the map, it looks like how, there's just a little grouping of lakes. How far away could it be? And my wife said, I booked Lake Superior Provincial Park. It's going to be amazing. And the kids were all excited. I said, this is awesome. In my head, I had like the number 2.5 to 3 hours maximum. That's what I thought in my head. The night before we left, I programmed it into the GPS, and it was 13 hours. And the nice thing about an RV is everything only takes about twice as long. So it was like a 3-day trip. Like, we packed supplies for 3 days. Whiskey, guns, blankets. And the kids were great until we got to a town called Sault Ste. Marie, right? We get to a town called Sault Ste. Marie, and the kids were just silent, all 4 of them in the back seat. Silent. And then you got north of Sault Ste. Marie, and there's no people. Never mind Wi-Fi. And all 4 of them were like, is there something, are you guys getting any signal? There's no signal. And then it was just the 6 of us for the next 5 days. How amazing was that? I'm so glad COVID's done because we had to do those, stupid trips. We took, we did a father-son fishing trip. And I'm not like, look at me. I'm not like, do you see me catching any fish, sir? No, right? So I go to Bass Pro Shop or whatever it's called now. I go there and I'm like, everyone knows what they're doing. Yeah, give me a jig lure and I want a basil dazzle and I want a jumper jump and I don't know. I said I want to get some stuff to go fishing up north. And he says, well, what are you trying to catch, bud? What are you trying to catch? I'm like, fish. Like what kind of fish you trying to catch, bud? And I'm like, the kind that swim, like just the ones that swim in the water and then we bring the boys up there, father, son. It's going to be a really great trip, right? Like you're going to bring your sons up there. It's going to be a bonding experience. And, the boys are aged kind of 8 to 18. So the 8-year-olds, no problem. Like licorice, they're happy, right? Bag of chips, they're happy. Can of pop, they're happy. The 18-year-olds, they insisted that they drive by themselves and they have their own backpacks, right? So we get there, and the 18-year-olds, all 4 of them, they've got these backpacks that are super heavy. They're like yeah, we're just gonna go to that campsite at the other side of the island where no one can see us. And if you guys have any questions, we'll be over there. And they're like this. And I say, drop the bags right there. No, we're just gonna put them over at the campsite. We don't want you guys to have to do anything. I said, drop the bags and open them. And in the bags, these are four kids, 18-year-old kids. There's 16 cases of White Claw. 16 cases of White Claw. A prouder father I could not have been in that moment. And so dads get stressed about that, and you know, they handle it different ways. Some get mad, some get wound up. My buddy Doug just gets stoned. He just smokes a lot of pot. My buddy Doug smokes a lot of pot, doesn't worry about anything. And here's the thing with Doug. He'll smoke pot, but he doesn't want the kids to see him smoking pot. And so he never wants to be around the kids. So he'll be like, first thing in the morning, 6 a.m., Doug will be like, rise and shine, everybody. Early bird gets the worm. Early bird gets the worm. Let's go, guys. Who wants eggs and bacon? Wakey, wakey. And he's got coffee on the go, and he's making egg and bacon sandwiches for all the kids, and it's so amazing. And he's like, you want sourdough? You want English muffin? What do you want? Rye bread? You got white bread? I got brown bread. I got 12 grain. What do you want? And and the kids are like, it's so early. It's so early. He's like, come on, guys. Early bird gets the worm. Who wants to catch some fish today? What do you want? Orange juice? What do you need? Water? And he's pouring everyone their drinks. All right, everyone cleaned up, ready to go. Let's get to the boats. Young guys with the old guys. You go with him. You go with him. You go with him. You're taking the fiberglass boat. You're taking the power boat. You're taking the canoe. You're following him. He said, you get in that one. You get in that one. You get in that one. And they're piling into the boats. You're like, where do you go? You go out to the point, turn right. You go out to the point, turn right. You go out to the point, turn right. You follow him. Nobody gets out of sight. I want you all back here in 4 hours. He's like, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. And as soon as they're all out of sight, are you guys ready to have some fun tonight? Are you ready to have some fun tonight? Are you ready to have some fun tonight?
Yeah.
Colin, are you ready to have some fun tonight?
I'm already having fun.
Really?
Yeah.
You look like you would never survive in the witness protection program with that. Like,
I feel
I'm
like
looking
I blend
for the
right
guy
in.
with the banjo and the shiny red jacket.
Yeah. That's how we do it in Ancaster.
You're in Ancaster. I forgot. And if someone was to be from Iceland, I would say it would be you, Maddie, tonight. That like the guy with the accordion and that electric blue shirt. It's so good to be here with Kirk and Adam and Maddie and Colin. Great guys. But we've got special guests here this evening. We've got special guests. They came all the way from Toronto to be here for me and my wife's wedding. There was people that we didn't know at our wedding, so it makes sense that you would be at our wedding. So they are an amazingly talented duo. He is Mark Camilleri. She is Louise Camilleri. Together they are LCM. And if I could get them up here, that would be just great. Thank you to that guy for taking that away. Oh, how comfortable is this? We get to sit here all night. This is so great. So you guys performed together? How long have you been together? First of all, let's start with the basics. You're both in the music business. How did you meet? How did this whole connection happen?
I'm going to start because I will tell the true story.
There's two versions of this event.
Of how we met.
Okay.
So I was a young performer. I had just come back from New York City, and I had all my audition music together for my shows. My book was all together. I was ready to audition and go to shows and do all that kind of stuff. So I go to this audition, and I had my book and my music, and I see this young fella behind the piano, and he's got this long black curly hair. He's got jewelry and chains and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, I've just come from this classy place, New York, and I've got this rocker behind the piano who's gonna play my music all wrong, whatever. Anyway, so I went over to him and I showed him my music and I explained, okay, start here, do this, do that, and and set it all up, and I'm all ready to go. And he gives me this look, like with some real attitude, like, okay, lady, I got this. Like, okay, here we go. So anyway, I get up, I tell the people what I'm gonna sing, and I start to sing my song, and we go out and we're breaking it out, and it's fantastic, and he's playing really well, and everything's great, and at the end, it was like, yeah. And I went over and I said, thank you so much, that was wonderful. and he gave me attitude.
Really?
Again, just like, okay, whatever. Gave me my book, and off I went. Now, I got the show that I auditioned for.
Of course you did.
And then he was in the show as the music director, and he fell in love instantly.
Instantly with you.
From that audition.
Of course he did.
From that audition. That's how we met.
So the other truth
Okay.
to that
yes,
story.
Yes.
In walks,
Start with the hair first.
Yeah, start with the
Yeah.
hair. Yes. So I did have long hair. My hair went down to my butt. It was long and it was super curly and it was awesome. Then I had kids and it all fell out. But
Yeah.
yeah. So in comes this girl to come in and audition, and she won't shut up about how she's been on Broadway and she's been doing Broadway and Broadway. I'm like, okay, whatever. And so she comes to the piano and starts talking to me like I've never played piano before. And she's explaining the music, start here and go there. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's all good. And,
did that to him?
Yeah, just go sing. And so I start the intro and I purposely play as flashy as I can just to show her that, yes, I'm aware of what's going on. And, but then she started to sing and it was awesome. And then we finished the song. I think we were both surprised. It's like, oh, okay, that was good, all right. And that was it. And then she got the gig.
She got the gig, and you got together, and then you have two boys. You have, is that right? Did I say it right? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And actually, we didn't get together right then.
No.
No.
Okay,
we didn't get
let me
together
hear
right
this
then.
then.
So we got the show and everything, and we were friends since then. And I was always singing for him for whatever he had going on in his studio and everything. It wasn't until many years later on Mamma Mia when we were both single and available, and that's when we kind of officially
Really?
got together. Yes.
So you did Mamma Mia in Toronto?
Yes, we did.
Really?
Yeah, we
3
did that.
years.
3 years. Yeah.
No way.
We played Dancing Queen over 2,000 times.
Really?
To the point where if I'm in a restaurant and the Dancing Queen starts, it's like it's either the restaurant, it's either the music, or we stay. It's one,
Yeah.
one or the
Yeah,
other.
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
As soon as that gliss starts at the top of Dancing Queen, it's like, okay, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Thanks.
My goodness, that's
Name that song
amazing.
in one gliss, and that's the,
That's the song. Yeah.
That's
we know. So,
amazing.
yeah, that's where we actually started going out together.
Every time I'm at a musical in Toronto, I keep wondering, I love it because the music is playing in my head for the next couple of days, and it's been years, and you still feel that way.
Well,
Yeah.
people always ask us if we get tired of hearing the same song, but the music of ABBA is absolutely amazing, and we weren't tired of it. I sang it every night. The harmonies in that musical are just amazing, and he loved playing it, and we loved singing it together, and yeah, we'd still sing songs today if we...
You find little games to play when you play, because again, like 3 years of playing ABBA is a lot. But the musicians you're working with are so amazing. And playing the show is a lot different than hearing it for 3 years. Playing it is a lot more fun. And so when you play, you just find, instruments to gel to and people to play along with. You turn up the drums one day a little bit and play along with them, or turn up one of the guitar players and really hear what they're doing. So you can get through weeks and weeks just doing that.
And shooting elastics.
Yeah, we had a couple elastic band wars in the pit, but that's a whole other thing.
So you were in the pit, you're up top, and you were together at that point? You were
Eventually, we got together, yeah. So sometimes...
For about half of it or so.
Yeah.
Please tell me you danced to ABBA as your first song, right?
That we did not do.
No, you did not?
That
No.
we did not do. Because
Really?
we got married on a cruise ship.
This is such a musical couple thing to do. You got married on a cruise ship?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, we got married on a cruise ship because we loved traveling and cruising. We did everything kind of backwards. So we got together, I think we moved in together, then had our children and such, and then got married
nothing
later
wrong. Your
on.
kids are
Later
lovely.
on.
Your
Because we were
kids are
busy
lovely.
working. We were
That's
working.
awesome.
We were busy working. And they know the stories. And so we got married on a cruise ship and invited all our friends and everything. And
Was it a Carnival cruise ship?
Yes, it was.
We went on our honeymoon on a Carnival cruise ship. Club Roma, Carnival cruise ship. Anything else we have in common here?
Really?
I love Mamma Mia. I love Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
They've heard me sing though, so don't even sweat it. So you guys, and then since then you've got a 22-year-old and a 15-year-old. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
And
yeah.
and they're high school, kind of beyond high school, I guess too, right?
The oldest one is beyond high school. He's out working, doing his thing, and the youngest one's in grade 10.
That's amazing. It's nice though, the difference between a 22-year-old and a 15-year-old. Like one where did the wine go to? Where did the ice cream go? Like there's just different phases, different phases.
Yeah.
So, and what's it like been gigging again? You're obviously, because, in your line of work, everyone talks about how COVID affected them and what it meant to their lives. No line of work more than yours was affected by COVID. And Zoom, everyone's like, you could just do a Zoom show. You guys could sing on our Zoom meeting, and it would be so great. For who? It would be
Zoom sucked
it's
for
the worst.
that. Yeah, it was
It's the
awful.
worst. The only thing worse than
gosh.
music on Zoom is comedy on Zoom. And I know that firsthand. I'm not even
you
that
can't,
good live.
You can't feel
Yeah.
you can't feel anything, and the sound wasn't that good, and there's no energy. There's absolutely no energy, and that was awful. But it was quite tragic at the onset of everything, just to absolutely be shut down. We were both in the middle of shows, and they said, we've got to stop, and you just go home. And there's no music, there's no applause, there's just no feeling every night. Because also when we sing, we get our feelings out, our emotions. It's our life, it's our passion. And that was very hard to just hear the silence. There was absolute silence for a long time, and it was nerve-wracking not knowing if we'd ever even go back. We thought the shows were kind of done just with the way it was blown up so much. Yeah.
Are they back with a vengeance now with what you're doing in Toronto? Like people are out and they're wanting it. They want to hear it. They want to feel it. They want to do all the stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. We're all here.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
But
Are we all here?
Yeah.
Small but mighty. They're from St. Catharines.
Yeah. I work a lot with the Mervishes downtown, and so
Don't want to
I'm
name
working
drop,
on.
but you
Don't
do
want
work
to
a
name
lot
drop.
with
Yes,
the
exactly. Yeah.
Mervishes, yeah.
But they're Singing in the Rain is on right now, and our usual performance week is 8 shows a week. So they've now added 2 more shows, so we're actually doing 9 shows a week because it's selling so well that they've
that's awesome.
added a 9th show for the next 2 weeks. Yeah,
So
it's
if
good.
we were there for our 24th anniversary and I name dropped Mark Camilleri, they'd be like, come on backstage.
Oh, for
Really?
sure.
Really?
For
Either
sure.
that or the restraining order is still in effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
no,
so-
the shows are great, and but there were even little things in between. Like Mark was able to do even some audiobooks at the studio. We have a home studio, and in the back, and audiobooks became very big. People were going to gyms, and they wanted to hear something, in their ears. So audiobooks were great. A lot of commercials we could audition for. So that was all right. That kept us going for a bit. It wasn't absolutely dead and gone.
And what keeps you most busy? Is it performing together as LCM, or is it your work in theater in Toronto, or what does?
I think it's pretty even because sometimes we perform for certain theaters and for certain concerts and benefits as LCM, and then our theater gigs actually take us apart, which then isn't that great, right?
Absolutely.
Very sad when we're apart. But but I think it's quite half and half, I think.
So let me tell you about the worst gig I ever had. I did a gig up north. I was performing for a group of retired school teachers, and I was the last portion of a 10-hour conference, and there was no booze, and the lights were brighter than what we're looking at there, and everyone just didn't want to be there. And at that moment, I thought, I really wished I played an instrument or I sang, because I don't think anyone could be as miserable as they are right now. If I at least could play a banjo or something. Let me ask you about, as a couple, the worst gig you've ever had, and I'll have a good question after that.
Worst gig?
Yeah, and you don't have to name call it.
No.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Together as a
Or
couple.
together or on your own.
First gig.
Those people.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I don't
I don't know
know.
if we have. I mean,
There's been some pretty bad. This is a while ago now, but there's some pretty bad wedding gigs where it seems like no one's getting along, and we're trying to
not
get
yours.
people.
Not yours.
I
And
love
get-
when
no,
you played at
no.
ours. Yeah.
And again, the gig itself wasn't that bad, but I remember doing a wedding where a bunch of people ran out, and then a bunch of people came back in really disheveled, and then one guy comes in all bloodied up, and it was like, what the heck? And we're playing,
Dancing
Queen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I remember, I don't think there's been a really bad gig that, like, literally playing the gig was bad, but there's been a couple of weird gigs like that.
But we always kind of make it fun in our own way. I'm going to sound really nerdy, but truly, like, we like working together. We find that really nice and a blessing when we get to work together. So even whatever's going on, we'll always look at each other, give each other a signal. We have little signals that we do for each other. And we just laugh and we just, crack jokes within the music. So we kind of make it better.
How cute is that? And look at your son squirming in his seat when you said that. That's so nice. Now, tell me about this. What's the musical experience that you've had on stage at the theater where you said, I could do this every night to get this feeling? Like, what's the best feeling you've got when you came off stage at an event that you were performing in?
Whenever I'm conducting a full orchestra.
Okay.
And there's singers and there's like 70, 80 musicians. Those are super fun gigs because, again, it sounds a little bit weird, but the pressure of those gigs, and I don't know if the word is risk, but the risk of those gigs when there's 70 people looking at you and you're, kind of driving the ship, and the singers want to be able to emote freely, but you're trying to lead these 70 people in order to make them play for the singer. There's a lot going on in your brain. So when those gigs get pulled off, because there's so much risk, the reward is huge at the end. You know what I mean? So when you finally get to the end, it's pretty spectacular. So those kind of things. Recording sessions are kind of the same too. Whenever I've done recording sessions with big orchestras for albums or whatever, it's sort of the same thing. Again, it's like per minute, it's thousands of dollars going by per minute for every musician, for the recording studio, for the engineer, for everything. And so the pressure is really high. So again, it's not so much applause in those cases because it's a recording session, but after the 4-hour, 5-hour, 6-hour day, when you've managed to get all the things recorded that you thought you were going to do and get it all done, it's pretty awesome.
#heart is full.
Yes.
I have two moments.
Okay.
For me, one of them was I was singing backup with a group for Josh Groban.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was at a big arena, and I remember being downstage. We were positioned downstage. Josh was in the middle, and I remember looking up at the big jumbotron screen thing, and I saw myself. As the camera was panning past me to Josh, but I saw me, and I was like, yeah, this is what I've always wanted. Like, I'm there. This is what I want. So that's when it felt like I could do this forever.
That's awesome.
And then the smaller moments, actually, it's when Mark and I create something that we have made together, something special, and we sing it, and it works, and just everything feels right. That's when I know that I'm doing the right thing. That's when I could do this forever. I could just make up our songs, do our thing. That's what I love too. So those kind of moments, they can be big or small.
That's awesome. That's so great. I had a similar moment to you. I was at the 2021 World Series in Atlanta with my brother-in-laws, and as Altoona was going up to bat to hit what would be a home run, we were in the 8th row, and I was eating a pretzel with mustard on it. And my sister, who was at home watching the game, sent me a text because as he was swinging the bat, all you see is me biting into a pretzel with mustard on it. It's like this, and that's me. That's my claim to fame. And I felt like I could do this forever.
Yes.
I could eat pretzels forever.
That's it. That's the moment. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what. First of all, it's a thrill to meet both of you, and we are going to retune things here so we get a chance to hear just how awesome both of you are together on stage. And first of all, thank you for making the trip here tonight to be with our cozy but awesome crowd.
Yeah,
and we're gonna tune up and get you guys on stage if that works.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Wait. Yeah.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it.
First of all, give it up for Niagara College, the broadcasting team at Niagara College. These are all students that are on a prison release program, and we're so proud of them. I'm just kidding. That's how professional. They don't even smile when I say that, but But the Niagara College team are amazing. They do such great work in our community, and they make events like this possible. So thank you, Dutch, and the whole crew at the broadcasting team and media. What is it called? Do I say it right? I want to get it right. Media and television arts. Media, television, and arts. I'm sorry, because I want to make sure I get it right. Cameras are rolling, so let's say this. Music Niagara will be 25 next year. They've got a lot of amazing events planned. They've got a wine and music series. They've got a jazz series. They've got an up-and-coming and emerging artist series happening. So it's all stuff like this. They've got a tribute series happening with a benefit for the people of Ukraine. And that's the kind of thing Music Niagara does. It's going to be celebrated, and it's going to be great in 2023. For my 25th anniversary next year, my wife really likes the Olive Garden, so we might scoot over to Buffalo and go to the Olive Garden. Like, no promises, but that's on the list of possibilities for us. But more important than any of that, how lucky are we to be in the presence of Louise and Mark Camilleri. Together, they are LCM, and together they are amazing, and we're so thrilled that they're here for you as part of Music Niagara's concert series. So thank you, Louise and Mark, for being here, and Ross and Mark, and I'll let you take it from here.
Bladder, skip the food and stop the chatter. Can't you hear the pitter patter? We're not here to eat, we came for the heat. Let's raise the roof, let's make a scene. Let's hope the gods of love will shine above and show the way. Let's call the shots, let's roll the dice. Take my advice, it always pays to raise the roof. Caller, bribe the barman with $1. Just ignite a mighty holler. Lead me to the trough till the clock goes off. Let's raise the roof. Let's make a scene. Let's hope the gods of love will shine above and show the way. Let's call the shots. Let's roll the dice. Take my advice. It always pays to raise the roof. Before the big hand when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. Lovely, with your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft, there is nothing for me but to love you and the way you look tonight. With each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my fears apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. Lovely, never ever change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you and the way you look tonight. Ooh, with each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my fears apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. Oh yes, you're lovely, never ever change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you and the way you look tonight. You keep me breathless the way you look tonight. I feel so lucky the way you look tonight. Yes, I'm in love with you the way you look tonight. The way you look tonight. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that was Ross MacIntyre on the bass. Woohoo! We've got Mark Camilleri, Mark Inneo. Mark Inneo, a Niagara native, on the drums. And the MC of LCM, Mark Camilleri, my partner in all things criminal and musical. And I'm, of course, Louise. Thank you so much. We're going to have some fun tonight, a little song, a little joke, a little romance, a little music. And we're going to keep things going right now. A little Roberta Flack. Strolling in the park, watching winter turn to spring. I'm walking in the dark, seeing lovers do their thing. Ooh, hey, that's the time I feel like making love to you. That's the time I feel like making my dreams come true. Oh, baby, 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 when you talk to me and you're moaning sweet and low, there you go, and you're touching me, and my feelings start to show. There's my flow, I feel like making love to you. That's the time. I feel like making my dreams come true. Oh, now, baby, take it, baby. Yeah, he loves me. He loves me. In a restaurant, holding hands by candlelight. That's so right, it's so right. When you're touching me, I'm wanting you with all my mind. Like tonight, tonight. That's the time, the time. Feel like making love to you. That's the time, the time. I feel like making my dreams come true. Oh, my baby, baby, baby. When you play for me, I feel like making love with you. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. I think we're going to, oh, yeah. I'm going to talk about a musical that we both love very much. It's called Sweeney Todd. Now, some people have mixed reviews about this one because it's quite a sinister musical. It's about the demon barber of Fleet Street who slices the throats of his clients and gives the bodies to his baker friend, Mrs. Lovett, who makes them into mincemeat pies. Lovely. But there's a beautiful song that comes out of that musical, and we actually use it as a lullaby to our children. Nothing's gonna harm you, not while I'm around. Nothing's gonna harm you, no sir, not while I'm around. Demons are flying everywhere nowadays. I'll send them howling, I don't care, I've got ways. No one's gonna hurt you, no one's gonna dare. gonna harm you, not while I'm around. Nothing's gonna harm you, no sir, not while I'm around. Demons are prowling everywhere nowadays. I'll send them howling, I don't care. I've got ways. No one's gonna hurt you, no one's gonna dare. Others will desert you, not to worry, whistle, I'll be there. Demons will charm you with a smile for a while, but in time, nothing can harm you, not while I'm Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's so frustrating when people obviously don't love what they're doing. It's how good are you guys together? This is amazing. Thank you, Louise and Mark and Ross. So good. So good. Let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you, Louise, this is for you. As a vocalist, and even if you're not singing it tonight, what is your favorite song to sing? And by the way, thank you for letting my kids know what a letdown I was singing lullabies to them. As you sang that to them? Wow. What is your favorite song to sing? Can I ask you that?
My favorite song to sing, I'll truly say, is any song from The Sound of Music.
Ah, well done.
That is my passion. That is my dream role that I want to play is Maria.
Really?
One day.
How do you solve a problem like that?
How do you?
See what I did
You
there? See
hire
what I
me
did
to
there?
play the role. That's how you solve that
Yes,
problem.
I would say so. You'd have my vote of confidence any day of the week. We are going to get Quartetto Gelato up here with you guys right now. Is that right?
Yes, yeah. They're going to come and join us for a couple tunes.
How seamless can they get in here? This is great. One thing I am going to do is I want to re-thank Niagara College off the top because I want to get that right because they're so good. So I want to thank, and you pretend like you've never heard this before, okay? I want to thank the team from Niagara College, the BRTF team, Broadcasting, Radio, Television, and Film. These students and their leadership is here at everything that matters for Music Niagara. They are the nicest, most dedicated, most professional, young group of students. These are people learning their craft and making stuff like this possible. So let's hear it for Niagara College. Yes. So it's going to look like I got that perfectly from the start. See what I did there? That's and then this will get edited out. This is like me, our discussion about you drinking martinis tonight. Not even here, but you're done, moved on from martinis. We're at red wine now. I like that. And there's little delicious little treats back there too, if you want that. You have one of those too. Good for you. Anyone come from far away here tonight? Did anybody? No? Waynfleet? Dunville? Thorold? Are you a Napoli? I knew you were a Napoli. We went to high school. Well, your sister, Sandy, right? You're Sandy, and I went with your sister, Tina. That's right. Look at that. My wife always accuses me of saying to women that I haven't seen before, is like, did we go to DM together? And we actually did. See what we did there? See how seamless was that transition? Just some crowd chat. Well, look how many people there are on stage all of a sudden. This is amazing. I feel like you guys should be in the Santa Claus parade. This is awesome. So we can edit, right? We can edit into this and out of this, right? We're good, Colin, right?
It's all good.
It's only money. Yeah. I really wish I want to redo our wedding with everyone that's on stage here right now. Like, how good would that be? So we'll start from the top. I'll just do this, right? So we've heard LCM, and now we've got LCM with my good friends from Quartetto Gelato, bringing what I can only imagine will be just as amazing. So let's hear it for LCM and Quartetto Gelato.
I'll just tell you before we start, sometimes Mark and I get asked to sing for certain benefits and for certain functions, events, whatnot. Sometimes people will bring us a theme and bring us some music to play, and this is just one of those songs where we were asked to sing at an Irving Berlin benefit, and the artistic director gave us a song to sing, and we looked at this song. We didn't really know it very well, and we thought, okay, what can we do with this to kind of make it our own? And that's when the Camilleri twist was born. So this is Irving Berlin's "If You Don't Want My Peaches, Better Stop Shaking My Tree." Mary Snow had a beau who was bashful and shy. She really couldn't make the boy propose, no matter how she tried. Mary grew tired of waiting, so she took her beau one side. While he stood there biting his fingernails, Mary cried, "If you don't want my peaches, better stop shaking my tree. Let me say that you're mighty slow. You're as cold as an Eskimo. There are 1,000 others waiting to propose to me. And if you don't want my peaches, boy, better stop shaking my tree." Mary's ma and her ma soon came into the room. They took a look at Mary's beau and cried, "You ought to be a groom. We know it's none of our business, but she'd make a lovely bride." He just said, "Well, I'll think it over," while Mary cried, "If you don't want my peaches, better stop shaking my tree. Let me say that you're mighty slow. You're as cold as an Eskimo. There are 1,000 others waiting to propose to me. And if you don't want my peaches, boy, better stop shaking my tree." If you don't want my peaches, better stop shaking my tree. Let me say that you're mighty slow. You're as cold as an Eskimo. There are 1,000 others waiting to propose to me. And if you don't want my peaches, boy, better stop shaking my tree. There are 1,000 others waiting to propose to me. And if you don't want my peaches, boy, better stop shaking my tree. Better stop shaking my tree. Yes, Quartetto Gelato. Woo! that you're something too. You something, sister. Remember your name. No twisters gonna steal your stuff away, my sister. We sure ain't got a whole lot of time. Tell you something, sister. Remember your name. Oh, twisters gonna steal your stuff away, my sister. We sure ain't got a whole lot of time. Yeah, yeah. So just take it all to me, sister. 'Cause this girl is feeling fine. Yeah, my sister, I'm feeling fine. Thank you so much. Thank you. Woo! I think now we're gonna have Quartetto Gelato do a little Motown with us.
Can I just say that we were backstage and after the sound check, and the guys are like, "We're not following them, are we?" And I'm like, no, thank God, 'cause they're too good. We can't follow them. We can join you, but this is amazing, so fun.
Is this your first time doing Motown?
This is my first time playing the oboe.
Let's do it. Here we
Let's do
go.
it. Let's do it.
Thank you. Thank you, Quartetto Gelato. Woohoo! Thank you so much, guys. Thanks.
How untalented do the rest of you feel right now? This is amazing. You guys are so great all together, and our good friends from Quartetto Gelato are just going to seamlessly slide off the stage here. It's hard to miss Maddie with that shirt on. I actually want that shirt. I want to see if I can make a deal with you tonight to buy that shirt. Mark, let me ask you this, because this is the saddest thing in my mom's life. She's here tonight. Is that she came to Canada, and she's from Scotland. She went to the Royal Conservatory in Scotland. She's a music teacher, and she's like, I tried to get you all to play piano, and none of you would listen. You didn't want to play piano, and if I could do what you just did right now, how happy would I be? And this is just accentuating the fact that I'm a massive disappointment to my mom. So any friend that I ever had that was musical, there was kind of a yin and a yang between the parents and the child. Do you want to go to lessons? No. When did you start playing, and when did you know that you loved this, so that you were going to be like, this is not a chore for me to go to lessons. I actually love doing this.
I started lessons when I was 4.
Wow.
My parents, my dad, this is a long answer, but my dad is one of the youngest of 14 siblings, and my mom is the oldest of 9. And so, being extremely old school European, my mom wasn't educated. She stayed home and raised all her brothers and sisters with my grandmother. And my father, being the 14th, was just neglected and did whatever he wanted. So, at that point. So the moment they could put me in lessons, they tried. And I went to the local lady who taught piano in our neighborhood, and did a couple of little games with me, and I seemed to have an ear, so she recommended I keep with the lessons. So I took lessons from age 4 till the end of high school, basically. Did my ARCT in performance by then. I took to it. There was no YouTube, there was no internet, obviously, but I would have been one of those kids playing the Mozart really early, whatever. I didn't really like it. I hated that none of my other friends played. Mm-hmm. So, they're all playing street hockey and doing whatever they're doing outside the living room window, and I'm stuck practicing my scales. I would try and get up really early to practice before my friends were up so that I could go play with them. Figuring that stuff out. Anyway. So now in elementary school, about grade 7, 8, I guess kids start finding out what they're really into. Our son our younger guy swimming, that's his thing, is figuring it out. And so you don't really hang out with your friends and play piano, you play soccer in the yard, or you play hockey, or whatever it is. So I wasn't particularly sporty. So I was never that first kid picked off the wall. I wasn't, I had friends, and it was all cool. I was in French immersion, so we were always nerdy and a little group unto ourselves anyway. But it wasn't until there was a talent show at school.
I knew talent show.
So there was a talent show at school, and they asked kids what they wanted to do, so I signed myself up. None of my friends really knew I played anything. So I signed up for the talent show, and I played a tune. And
do you remember what you played by chance?
Yeah, it was the Mozart. Dee da da dum ba da dum. Anyone who played piano, dee da dee dum da da dum. That one in C major. And anyway, I played it, and the kids all clapped, and it was awesome. And then I became popular after that.
Yeah.
I became. It was like my unique little difference that made me the same as the really cool hockey kid, or the really cool kid who was really good at soccer, And even though I wasn't better at soccer, I was now pulled off the wall faster,
Yeah.
Like it was just, I had a thing now. So that was cool. I still hated practicing, but I loved playing fast songs because it wowed, Like it was the thing. So that was it. Then I went to an art school, and then that was it. That's all I did.
That's awesome.
That's my long answer.
Mark Camilleri. And how about you, Louise? Was it a struggle to get you to go to? Did you go to voice lessons, or are you just this way? Is this just how you?
Well, yeah,
arrived
no, I
on this
never
earth?
went to lessons of any sort. My father is a musician. He was a royal bandsman in England. He went to the Royal Conservatory in England or whatever, Royal Academy of Music in England. And I grew up actually singing to songs that he would play on his guitar or trumpet. He was very classical. And he would always let me listen to fabulous singers, from Joe Williams to the Sarah Vaughns to the Barbara Streisands, to all, just good voices, just to tune my ear to be a musician. And he started me in piano, and I didn't get through it. So that was it, and I just fell in love with, and I was an athlete first, actually, and then I fell in love with just the sound of music.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw Maria, I said, that's me. I want to do that. I wanted to be a nun, everything, just so I could sing in a
That's
convent.
amazing.
I wanted to sing in a convent,
That's
and that was it.
Because of the acoustics.
Yes.
Really? That's, well, so incredible. And again, Music Niagara is so thrilled to have you here. And this is really just a great fall event for us. And what a treat to be here with LCM tonight, huh? The best part is that you have more tunes for us. You're gonna play with Ross.
Is it okay to do a few more?
Oh yeah. Let's go. So without further ado, LCM.
Here's another song with a bit of a Camilleri twist to it. It's from Guys and Dolls. To heaven, and by some chance I had brought my dice along, and there I stood and I hollered, someone fed me, but the passengers, they knew right from wrong. For the people all said, sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Yeah, the people all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. And the devil will drag you under by the sharp lapel of your checkered coat. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat. I sailed away on that little boat to heaven, and by some chance found a bottle in my fist, and as I sat nicely passing out the whiskey, but the passengers, they were bound to resist. For the people all said, beware, beware, you're on a heavenly trip. Yeah, the people all said, beware, beware, you'll scuttle the ship, and the devil will drag you under by that fancy tie round your wicked throat. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat. And as I laughed at those passengers to heaven, a great big wave came and washed me overboard. And as I sank and I hollered, someone save me, that's the moment I woke up, thank the Lord. People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. We're children needing other children, and yet letting our grown-up pride hide all the need inside, acting more like children than children. Ooh, lovers are very special people. They're the luckiest people in the world. With one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you were half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first be a person who needs people. People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. Lovers are very special people. They're the luckiest people in the world. With one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you were half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first be a person who needs people. People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. Oh yeah, people who need people are the luckiest, luckiest people in the world. Thank you so much. Woo. So that was Barbara Streisand, one of those big belters. But I grew up, like I was saying, with my dad actually teaching me to listen to people like Joe Williams and Cleo Lane and Sarah Vaughan and some of the ladies who sing down low. And I've always been a nice alto, and that's my happy place. And I want to sing a couple songs from two women who really changed my life, because I sang to them all the time. And remember cassette tapes? I sang to those tapes until I stretched them and they were cut in the middle, and I had to use sticky tape to tape them all back together. So that was my Anne Murray and Karen Carpenter collection. People smile and tell me I'm the lucky one. We've just begun. I think I'm gonna have a son. He will be like you and me, as free as a dove, conceived in love. The sun is gonna shine above. And even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey. Everything will bring a chain of love. And in the morning when our eyes bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything is gonna be alright. Love a guy who holds the world in a paper cup. Drink it up. Love a man, he'll bring you luck. And if you find he helps your mind, better take him home. Oh, heaven, don't you live alone. Try to find what luck he's on. And even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey. Everything will bring a chain of love. And in the morning when our eyes bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything is gonna be alright. We've only just begun to live. White lace and promises, a kiss for luck and we're on our way. We've only just begun before the rising sun. We fly, so much of life ahead. We'll find a place where there's room to grow. We've only just begun. Sharing horizons that are new to us. Searching for love along the way. Talking it over, just the two of us. Caring together day by day. Together. And when the evening comes, we smile. So much of life ahead. We'll find a place where there's room to run. People smile and tell me I'm the lucky one. We've only just begun. Thanks, Lovey. Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you. My ladies in the basement. So this is our last song now that we're singing for you this evening. When I was young and watching all these Broadway shows and wishing to be on those stages, there was one Broadway musical I loved so much, one of the first shows I ever saw, but I wasn't old enough to actually understand the lyrics. I wasn't experienced enough to know what was going on with these songs, so there's no way I could have sung them for auditions or for anybody in general. But today I'm here with you, and I'd like to sing it for you now. This is one of my favorite songs from the musical The Life. It's called The Oldest Profession. I'm worn out and weary. I ain't no machine. My head hurts. My feet hurts. And everything in between. I'm getting too old for the oldest profession. I'm getting too tired and too slow. I'm getting too old for the half-hour session. I'm getting too old for a pro. I'm getting too old for to climb all those stairs now. A half dozen times every night. I'm getting too old for to take 'em in pairs now, or to take off my clothes in the light. I can't seem to manage those Shriners who manage to manhandle me every trip. To tell you the truth, I've had so many Shriners that I'm up for membership. When I was 16, it was fun turning tricks. Well, I needed the money and I wanted some kicks, but I ain't 16. I just turned 26. It's time to come in from the cold. It's like I'm getting too old. Well, let me see. Say 5 Johns a night, 6 nights a week. Of course, that was back in my prime. That's 30 Johns a week, 50 weeks a year, 'cause I always visit Mama at Christmas time. That's 30 times 50 multiplied by 10. Wait a sec, let me do that again. After 10 years in the trade, I've really made the grade. It looks like I've been laid by over 15,000 men. Lord have mercy. I'm tired of doing those deadbeats and pikers and haggling over the price. I'm tired of spending the weekends at Rikers. You never meet anyone nice. for the love.
Keep it going for LCM.
Thank you so much.
All these years, I thought comedy was the oldest profession. You guys are amazing. Ross MacIntyre on the double bass and bass guitar, Mark Inneo on the drums, Mark Camilleri on the piano, and Louise Camilleri on vocals. LCM, keep it going for them. We want to thank our sponsors, the Government of Canada, Ontario Creates, and Niagara College broadcast team. And of course, I want to thank my good buddies from Quartetto Gelato, Colin, Adam, Kirk, Matty. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here tonight. Can you play me off with something? Can you get us off with something here? Play us off with a little Get the Hell Out of Here, Joe music?